Good afternoon. We are at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, the place that Jesus was crucified, died, buried, and resurrected. And we're gonna make a nice tour around the main places of the church. And let's start with the mattress. If you know Yaakov from my earlier videos, you know that Yaakov is living like in Jesus' time. It's not kind of, I don't see him as a Jerusalem syndrome, but I believe that he really meant to be a regular person who wants to live exactly like Jesus' time, to be as close as he can to him. And this is his bedroom. That's where he sleeps. Every night. It doesn't matter if it's snow here, if it's rain here, if it's rainy, if it's hot. It's very important place. That is where Jesus fell for the third time, and this is the entrance to the Egyptian and the Ethiopian Orthodox. This is where he fell for the third time, and lucky me today, I really fell. It was tough, and I feel my body, but I'm here. I survived it. We are doing a nice tour at the church. It might take something like 40 minutes if I know myself, and we are honoring the tour for you, but mainly for Lisa. I'm sure that I will destroy the family name, Langiulli or Langiulli. Oh, yeah, now the family is actually laughing at me. But I'm not good with names. Dyslexic, a little bit dyslexic. Then, before we will enter to the church, let me tell you that it's a special day for the Orthodox Christians. It's almost Christmas Eve. It's the beginning of January, but according to their calendar, it's the end of December. Then today they're having a very important liturgy service, and I took a video of it. I felt God there. This is something so special. Beautiful, isn't it? About the cross. This is Jerusalem cross. What you see here is the main cross, which I see it as Jerusalem, the center of Christianity. And then 4 other small crosses. It can be whatever you want. Let's say 4 gospels: earth, wind, fire, America, Asia. Choose whatever you want to choose. But look how beautiful it is. But for me, it's Jerusalem is in the center. Jesus is in the center. For me, it's almost the same thing. Then we are now at the Ethiopian church, and this is just before Christmas, and they are now celebrating. It's a kind of a liturgy inside the church. Let me tell you that the Ethiopians believe that they are a creation of Queen Shiva and King Solomon, and 9 months later, the first Ethiopian was born. He came to here when he was 20, and he got the 10 Commandments, the Ark of the Covenant, which is in Ethiopia. If we will visit the church, you will see a model of Aktum church in Ethiopia. That's where, according to the Ethiopians, the Ark is located. If you want to have your own cross, it's not a problem. Just go to Buy Me a Coffee link. It's at the description of every video that I'm uploading, and you will see all the information about it. But if you won't find it, send me a message via WhatsApp or via YouTube, and I will answer you. I will give you all the information about it. Then let's leave the Ethiopian village and let's say hi to Oren. Oren is not only a beautiful guy, handsome guy, he is another guy who makes a lot of videos and a great tour guide. And let's enter, but we must be quiet to try not to talk. Before I forget, that area was a Crusader dining room. Maybe even a German Crusader dining room. We are leaving that amazing place and we will reach straight to the facade of the church. Oh, look at the bird. And remember that the dome. Then let's be quiet. This is another Ethiopian church. Very similar to the Orthodox churches. It's divided into two. There's the place that the disciples are praying, and then the Holy of the Holiest. The other side, that's where the Ark of the Covenant is located. Look at how beautiful is the facade of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. A couple that I took there, let's say a week ago, told me something that I accept, but because I'm visiting the church so many times, from time to time I don't even pay attention to that. That church that we are going to enter doesn't look like a regular church. And you will see it by yourself. So many chapels. It looks like they build it in parts. And it's not made of only one cathedral. And that's true. There's so many reasons for that. One of the reasons is it was built and destroyed. Built and destroyed. It's been destroyed so many times then it's like Lego in a way. Another reason, that church is not a regular church. Well, first of all, let's start with that. This is the most important church in the world. That is where Jesus was crucified, died, buried, and resurrected. Then, in that case, it doesn't belong to the Catholic or only the Catholic. It belongs to the Armenians. It belongs to the Greek Orthodox, and you saw the Ethiopians. The Church of Syria is here. The Church of the Coptic Church is here. And there's so many people who hold that one church, and everyone wants a big piece for themselves. And you know what can actually happen with that. Then in that case, this is the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Let's talk about one thing that to show you the problems in that church, but this is only one of so many others. And look at the ladder, the second story. The two windows belongs to the Armenian. Actually, the chapel is there. They wanted to clean the windows from the outside, and they took the ladder outside just to clean the windows. And guess what? The Greek Orthodox came to them and said, "Who told you that the facade is yours? The facade belongs to everyone." And they have pictures from 1859, and the ladder was there. Then, in that case, there are a lot of tension between them, the domination. Although there's now a status quo that everyone knows their place, and still, it's not so easy when you want to control the most important church in the world. Then let's beg that everyone will accept everyone. Look at the beautiful pillars, columns here, and there's a lot of graffiti all over. Then let me ask that couple to move a little bit. Here it is. Look at that. Graffitis, and there's one graffiti that's unique to that church. And this is that one. You see the Golgotha and the cross above it. According to that creek, even that's got a story. Every year, the Armenians and the Greek Orthodox are enjoying a miracle. The holy fire goes down from the church, and one day the church was closed. The Muslim didn't let them enter, or the Armenian. It all depends who you're asking. And Jesus sent the fire straight to here, and everyone could enjoy the holy fire. We're talking about graffiti and upstairs. See if we can make it bigger. Yeah, you can see graffiti, Italian graffiti from 1389. Wow, I know. Now, I took a lot of videos of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, but let's face it, every video is different. Lisa, she is an amazing woman. How did I know it? Mainly because we actually talked a lot. And I realized that she didn't think about herself, as she thought about the word, about the peace word, about how poor people will be happier, stop drugs, for example. And then she thought about a family, beautiful family. She actually sent me a picture, and if you are planning to buy yourself a cross, there are different crosses. Send me information about you, not only shipping address, mainly because I want to have kind of a private video that talks especially to everyone, but to the family of Lisa. See that it's in Hebrew and in English as well. You can hear the bells, and let's start from the beginning. Let's climb up to the Golgotha. It's going to be a little bit crowded today, but it's okay. This is part of being in the church. We are climbing up from the Catholic area, and we leave the Golgotha from the Greek Orthodox area. Yes, it is crowded today. Wow, it is crowded. Hope that you will be able to hear me. Thanks God that I already blessed it in the Golgotha and at the Calvary early morning when I took your private candle tour.
Oh yeah.
The church was empty. But still, let me see what we can see here. This is part of the Via Dolorosa. Outside that window is when they stripped him from his clothes. If you look upstairs, you can see a beautiful mosaic of Abraham and Isaac. My real name is Isaac, Zahi, it's a shortcut of Isaac. And you can see that Abraham is trying to sacrifice me, but the angel told him, don't do that. Sacrifice. Which is the way Jesus came to end that story, to take all our sins. You can see that the crucifixion was outside the gates. You can see the women there, and that's where they nailed him to the cross. But we see if I can actually enter to see it. Just a moment, I'm just going to the... Sorry. That's where they nailed him to the cross. And although every exit here is new, there's some of there's only one part of the mosaic which is not so new, and this is from the 12th century. Jesus ascension into heaven. Though the church is not new. Let me just bless it here as well. This is a way to Pieta. That is Mary help Jesus. Let's leave that place now. I think that I'm trying to take the place. Let me stand in front of the crucifixion. Oh, sorry. We are already at the Greek Orthodox part. That is where Jesus was crucified. You can see the Golgotha, which is beneath the. Beneath the glass, but I will wait. That's a must. Wait for you.
Just a minute.
Alright. The glass. Let's start from the beginning. That cross, just like the candle, already blessed the place of the crucifixion. You can see the crucifixion spot to the right. There's John the disciple, the beloved one. To the left, Mary, the mother, and of course Jesus is on the cross. And it's very close to 3 o'clock then. In the way he's on the cross now, and soon he will actually reach back home to his Father. Beneath the glass is the bedrock of the Golgotha, Calvary. And the marks here represents 1, 2, 3 people who've been crucified at the same time, but Jesus is the most important one. Look at the ceiling. It's a totally different language. That side is the Catholic side. That side is the Greek Orthodox side. And let me show you where I'm usually lighting the candles. There are 2 or 3 places that I can light candles here.
The Bay Area,
Which is right here. And as I believe there is, yes, procession here as well, because remember, it's we are the Greek Orthodox, and the Orthodox churches are celebrating Christmas. So, oh, that is amazing. Let me try to show it to you. Let's leave the Golgotha and just after Jesus died, they purified his body. To purify the body is a Jewish tradition, but it's more than that. Jesus was buried at the same time, at the same day. And the day, according to the Jews, and let's remind us that Jesus was a Jew, the day begins and ends at sunset. And that's it. Now 3 o'clock. It's Thursday. Then tomorrow is about 5 p.m., 2 hours from now. Then we just been there. And what we saw the crucifixion, please, and the Pietà. Mary is holding the dead body of the Son, and for me, Lisa, you are just like the mother. I'm talking about the Holy Mother. Because if someone is not thinking about herself and write me, let's say, almost 2 pages about the peace to the word and for the rest of the people, and then her family and nothing about herself, for me you are a saint. Then in that case, you can see here, John the disciple, the only one who helped Jesus. I mean, the other disciples weren't there, not Diminos, and Joseph of Arimathea that gave Jesus his own tomb, and you can see it soon, and the mother, Mary Magdalene as well, and of course it was outside the gates. We do have a problem with that, because we know that that church is now not only inside the gate, it's at the Times Square of the city. That's why there is another option outside Damascus Gate. It's called the Garden Tomb, and I'm not going to argue which place is the best or the truth, but most of the Christians are believing in that place, and let us remember or remind us that the city of 2,000 years ago is not the same city of today. Here you can see where it's okay. Where they anoint the body of Jesus. That is a Jewish tradition. Before you bury him, you must anoint the body and then wrap him with a shroud. And then you will bury him without a casket, straight into the tomb, just like we are buried Jews in Israel until today. That anointing table is in front of you, and you can see that a lot of the visitors will anoint themselves or the things that they bought on top of their table, and I'm doing it too, because now the cross is not just a wooden cross. This is a relic, and I believe that if someone will feel sick, then he can hold that cross and feel better. Then for me, the anointing table is one of the most important places. But still, early morning when I could, I enter with the cross into the tomb, which is in front of you, but I couldn't. They are not allowing me to take videos or even to take pictures. Not only me, everyone. What's that light? It's for. Let's wait.
Who is the professor?
What is that? Which is attached to the tomb itself. We are, after many years, all the churches agreed to renovate the floor. You see the floor now? It's from different times, which is good, but this, look how bad it looks like. Then they decided to excavate first, and then to to renew it. I don't know if you can see something from there. You can see that the floor is not there anymore. We are next to the tomb of Jesus. Now, I don't know if you saw the mosaic wall, but the tomb is supposed to be like a cave. Joseph of Arimathea was a rich man, Jew, and he could allow himself to build a family cemetery. Remember, we saw the liturgy of the Greek Orthodox? Here it is.
Sometimes there are hundreds of people queuing the line to get into the room itself. We won't be able to do it today, but the story is here.
The tomb is divided into two. But let's first talk about the cave. That church being destroyed. Why? Because at the beginning the Romans themselves destroyed to cover or to hide the tomb of Jesus. Christianity wasn't a legal religion until the 4th century. And then later on, been destroyed by the Muslims. And at the end, in 1808, it been destroyed by mistake by the Christians themselves. It was burned down. And the dome that was made of wood destroyed the Aedicula, the structure of the tomb. And this is only from the 19th century and it's been renovated lately. It's divided into two. The first part is, you might see the candle there. I'm not sure that we will be able to see that because there are a million people here today. And that's where the angel took care that no one will steal the body, and that cross already touched it. And the inner part is the tomb itself that is empty. And when they renovated that structure, the tomb, they opened the tomb and guess what? It was empty. I was outside the church when they announced it. They didn't let me go in. I'm not so important. I'm not actually important at all. This is the line for it, and why that part is a wooden floor is because they already excavate here and they're renovating or I don't know, dealing with the stones, and later on they will put them back here or new stones, I don't know, new floor, that I really don't know. Before I will show you something very special for me. Let's stop here in the Catholic place. And this is the 15th station of the cross, although there's only 14. I'm talking about my 15. That's where Mary met Jesus on Sunday after the resurrection. Did you see my Lord? She said to the gardener. Please tell me, where did you hide the body of him? Let's just go in, but I will be quiet, to the family chapel. This is another Catholic chapel. I love the chapel, although it might be one of the last videos. They're going to renovate it. It's going to be a totally different place soon. Look at the beautiful organ. And let me try to reach. Yeah, I can. Oh, look at the kid over there, church. The church kid. Coptic chapel that used to be there, but now they move it to here because you can see a little bit of the renovation there. But we are entering to that chapel. That chapel is very important for me because it actually tells us an history story. The only problem with that chapel is that, look at that. No one maintains it, maybe because there's a lot of debates who owns it. Can. I saw Sharon twice, like I saw you 3 times. Sharon is here. Then let's talk about that important place. Then let's leave the bad situation here, but let's look at Sharon. Sharon, she's always smiling and I love her. She's a very good friend of mine. And she knows that this chapel is so important. But you know that it's important for me, not only because of the tomb that you're going to see, this is from the 4th century. This is one of the, and this is from the 21st century. No, actually 20th century. She is not so young.
1966, unfortunately.
Then this is, that wall is from the beginning of the church, built by St. Helena. And for me, this is more than enough. Then in that case, I'm blessing it here. But another thing that you can see here, that there are so many holes. And those holes used to hold marble and good stones. Today, as you can see, it's not. It's been stolen. A nice word. But you can see that here there's so many holes. If there are so many holes here, it means that place was very important. And it was. Remember that we talked about how Jews used to be buried? Then let me continue with that story. It's the same day they will purify the body. They will put it in the niches without... let me use my flashlight. Oh, no, wait. You will see the flash. Oh, now we can see it. Let's go in for just a minute. And you can see here the niches. And some of them are closed. That one is closed. And those two are still closed. Did you remember it? Now, let me go outside, if I will be able. Let me just bless the cross here as well. Oops. Huh? I can hear Oren as well if you're watching my videos. Maybe you're watching Oren videos as well and you recognize his voice. He just bought a house in one of the kibbutzes on the Negev. He's happy. Negev, it's a desert of Israel. At the same place where Ben Gurion, the first prime minister, has actually lived. Then let's sit here at the 4th century niche of the first church here. Let's talk about the niches that you saw. There are, you can count, but around 5 niches, and they can bury there 5 people. What will happen to the 6th one? There's no place for them. It's very, very expensive to build another family cemetery. Then in that case, they will open the oldest niche, they will take the bones out, and then they will put it in a small box by the name Osri, and they put it in the small storeroom, and then they will be able to bury the dead, another dead, in the old niche. Who owns the tomb? We know that the crucifixion place that we actually visited was next to the garden of Joseph of Arimathea, who gave Jesus his own tomb. Then the tomb that we saw of Jesus was at his garden. And this is part of the garden. And that's why the church and the garden is at the same place. And if that is the tomb of Joseph of Arimathea, then the other tomb is the tomb that he gave to Jesus. And how do I know that this is not the tomb of Jesus? Because Joseph of Arimathea gave his own tomb. Because we know that the Bible mentioned that he gave the tomb that no one used before. And that tomb was used so many times. You remember, you saw that it's not a virgin tomb. You saw that maybe there's still bones of Jews from the 1st century there. And in that case, I want you to understand that if that was a cemetery area, then that tomb, hey, I didn't see it for like a million times. Yay! It's so nice that COVID is gone. He actually visited Ethiopia, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, 2019.
I was so jealous. I'm so jealous because I really want to be in Ethiopia. And that if he gave Jesus his own tomb, guys, that is the tomb of Jesus in his garden. And you can understand how happy I am to be here and to be able to visit the structure of the tomb of Jesus almost at least twice a week. And today I'm doing it for you, my dear. Where's your name? I want you to see it in Hebrew. We will continue the tour, but let me ask you to subscribe to my channel, be part of my family. And we are at the the Armenian chapel. According to the Armenians, that's where the ladies were standing when Jesus was crucified. There. Done. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It's very important for me because I love to guide people. It makes me happy. I think I choose the best job ever. But I know that my videos are helping not only to the people who are here to visit the church and actually watching one or more of my 20,000 videos. It helps a lot to people that cannot reach Israel, the Holy Land. And for me, it's very important. I'm entering here because this is another important chapel, Greek Orthodox. Let me just show it here and I will talk about it outside. I can actually talk here as well. This is the lower part of the Golgotha. According to the Greek Orthodox, according to the Bible, a lot of the people who actually, when Jesus died, the earth shook and drop of blood fell into the ground and a lot of people resurrected. And this is the site, but according to the Greek Orthodox, that is where Adam, the first man ever, resurrected because of it. And this is the tomb of Adam or the Adam chapel. And before you will ask me how can it be, let me tell you that according to the Greek Orthodox, until the flood, the tomb of Adam was in heaven. Greek Orthodox are not really, and Crusaders weren't good friends. The Crusaders killed a lot of the Greek Orthodox. And what you see here is a Greek Orthodox chapel that was built on top of the kings of the Crusaders' tomb here. And remember the wall of mosaic wall? Beneath it were more tombs of them. And it's not the end of the tour, my friends. I know that it's only 40 minutes, it's going to be longer. It's longer because I love to be here. And it's longer because there's so many things to say. And believe me, we're going to visit only 20% of the church. This is another part of the bedrock of the Golgotha. Before we will continue, and there are a few more things that I want you to see, let me read you something that I fell in love with. And mainly because I can sit here and there's light. Oh, wait a minute. That's how the email of her actually started. I asked her if you want me to say something about your family. Then she answered, for example, I pray for all. evil to be brought to justice, for all who hunger and thirst to be filled, to all eyes and hearts to be turned back to God. I mean, this is for me exactly like Matthew 5, where I must continue with that. I mean, you must listen to that. This is for me a saint woman. For all who are lonely to be consoled, for all who are suffering to be comforted, for all who are sick to be healed, for all drug and sex to be ended immediately. That she say basically our prayer. And I ask her is to say something about her family. And then she said, oh, of course, I forgot to write. I mean, that's what she said. Peace in the word, of course. But then she said, but I do have a husband, 4 children, and a baby grandson who I would ask God to bless and protect always. What can I say? Oh, another thing that she said, and let me answer it. May I ask, in Israel, do people refer to Jesus or Yeshua? Before I will answer it, let me, if it's okay by you, read the names of her family. Paul, Alexa, Nicholas, Pauline, Anthony, and Luca. And she wants to include Jason, Gabby, and Rebecca. A boyfriend and girlfriend of kids. Wow! Mother-in-law. Get married. She is the best mother-in-law ever. And that makes me happy. And my 21 years old grandma, and what can I tell you? I'm in love. Jews and Jesus. Jesus is not familiar with the Jews. I mean, a lot of the secular Jews knows him, but he's not familiar with the Jews. It sounds like Allah and Muhammad are not really familiar with the Christians. But if you're asking a Jew who is Jesus, they might say a fiction, they might say a rabbi, that want to make a change, a reforms, but there were so many like him. They won't say God or Son of God. Jews cannot accept a man, a human being, as that, because the second command actually say no. The word Messiah for the Jews is different than Messiah for the Christian. Messiah for the Christian is another word for Jesus, Son of God. God, for the Jews, it's a man or a woman who will get or already got a mission from God, but it's a man or a woman. It's like more like prophets or builders. For example, King Solomon was a Messiah, and the word Messiah in English is actually it's in Hebrew, but in English is the one that was anointed by the water of Jerusalem, the only spring of Jerusalem, and I actually been there today in City of David. Then Jesus or Yeshua. I prefer the word Yeshua, but a lot of the Christians don't understand what I'm talking about. For them, it's Jesus. Yeshua, it's his name, not Jesus. And the meaning of the word Yeshua, which is in Hebrew, it's salvation. And I think that it comes from the word Yehoshua. And Yeshua was the prophet after Moses. And his mission was to take those 12 tribes and to occupy the Canaan, to turn it into Israel. And he crossed the river at the same place that Jesus was baptized by John. Then I believe that his name was Yehoshua, but it's very difficult to say Yehoshua, and a lot of Yehoshua became to be Yeshua. Oh, That's different. It's very difficult to pronounce, and how it actually reached Jesus, I have to study it, but it's not that. Then in that case, now I know, we know you, Lisa. How are you? Hi. This is a Palestinian tour guide from Bethlehem. And again, Lisa, let's continue the tour. We're already 45 minutes together. Please don't complain how long it is, because you can actually watch it in a few times. But I feel that I need to do that. Maybe God asked me to do that. Maybe Lisa. Maybe the letter that she wrote me. Then, as you can see, it really helps. Then, if you are buying that cross, and if you want me to pray for you or just talk to you, then tell me things about you, because I can add it. It will be more personal and less boring video. Then, are we ready to walk down something like 49, I think, or 29 stairs? Before that, Greek Orthodox chapel. And that's where, this is the stone that according to the Greek Orthodox, Jesus was sitting on him while they actually laughed at him, put their toe, the crown of horn on his head. This is it's a beautiful part. And let me continue down. We are entering an Armenian chapel. And look at the walls from the 11th and 12th century. So many graffitis. There's some paperwork about it. Is it from the 11th century or even later than that? In the hundreds like that. Sorry, when I'm talking too much. I'm supposed to stop and drink something, but I will do that in about, let's say, 20 minutes. The Armenian, I just missed him. The Armenian monk entered to a place that I believe it's the foundation of Constantine church, the first church, and even before that, Adrian temple, Roman temple. There's a beautiful graffiti of a boat, and a inscription to say, "We came to visit you, our Lord." It might be the first graffiti of Christianity in that church, 2nd century, and it's amazing. I don't know why it's always closed. I myself saw it on it a few times. It's called Vertan Chapel, but I want you to understand that the Armenians got a lot of places here. Mainly, they're renovating it. Mainly because the Armenians were the first nation that converted into Christianity. That's actually happened in the 301. What you can see here is a mosaic floor that was built in the 90s by a Jewish lady, and it's described a lot of the cities of Armenia that have been destroyed by the Turkish. This is the genocide, Armenian genocide of 1915, and they just opened an amazing museum at the Armenian Quarter, and it might be the only option for you to enter the Armenian Quarter to visit the museum. Then don't miss it too. Remember the chapel, the dome that we saw at the Ethiopian part? And I told you to remember it. This is the one. Then the roof is there. We are now heading to the lower part of the church, and the lower part of the church is the most ancient part of the church. Then we are leaving the Armenian chapel, and this is the border between the Armenian and the Catholic. And we will enter now to the Catholic chapel. What's in there? Let's talk about it when we reach it. Beside that place, I want to show you another chapel. Then don't go away, please. And don't forget to subscribe my channel. This is the lowest part of the church. In that case, it's the oldest part of the church. And we are talking about a quarry from the time of King Herod. Although I know how to switch on the light, I wanted it because they are not happy with that. But you can see here the quarry from the time of King Herod. Remember, the Golgotha was owned by King Herod as a quarry, and then the Romans used it as a crucifixion place. In between, the Jews buried them, the dead there. Later on, they used it as a water system. You can see the plaster. And you can see the bucket's hole. In 335, that church was open to the public, and when Saint Helena came, she came to here. She came to so many places, but here they found 3 crosses. You know that Jesus was crucified with another 2, but they wanted to check if that is the correct area. Then they took an old lady, in one version, a dead man. The first cross touched it, nothing happened. Second cross touched it, nothing happened. And the third cross, I'm sure that you know, he resurrected. And this is where they found the true cross. And Lisa, your cross actually touched that stone. It's difficult to see, then I will use again my flashlight. You can see here, Crusaders, I believe, fresco of the crucifixion of Jesus. This is Jesus in the middle, to the right John, to the left his mother. This is St. Helena Chapel. Then don't go away, remember we do have another place to visit. And then we will say goodbye. Yeah, it's going to be around 1 hour video. Lisa, you are worth it. And yes, of course, if you ask me what I'm going to do with the cross, this is not my cross, this is Lisa's cross. I will send it to her. She already sent me my shipping address. And I will do that in the next few days. First of all, I want her to see the video, and then I will send it to her. I need to drink. Then, last chapel. And then we'll say goodbye, and I will drink 1 liter of water. Climbing up the stairs. If someone wants to count those stairs for me, I will be happy. You can see some of the stones of the church. Yeah, I'm breathing. It's not easy for me, but I feel satisfaction. This is where Jesus, this is the prison of Jesus. When Jesus came to here, at the end of the Via Dolorosa, just before they nailed him, he had to wait for his crucifixion. According to what we believe, that was the prison of Jesus here. And how it looks like. First of all, yeah, look at the two holes to put the legs in it. You can see it here in front of you. Guys, this is it. Almost 1 hour of video. If you reach that point, it means that you're a good believer. Then please write to me. If you have some questions, don't hesitate. I'm here for that. And thank you very much. Bye-bye. Oh, Lisa, did I already mention that I love you? Yes. Thank you.